Hello. I've created a new card game. I know there aren't that many card games out there. This is actually a card game that you could, if you just wanted to draw it out, you could. I have ones that are even easier to draw. This was a little more complex. The whole point is you're going to get a couple cards on the first turn. Next round you get 3, then you get 4, then you'll get 5. And whoever gets rid of their cards first, then you count up everybody else's cards. That's how many points you get for that round. And there you go. Every single one of the cards has an animal on it. And then they'll have a brackets kind of joke word that's usually connected with that animal. The game is called either Honky Cat or Step Back Honky Cat. So each card has some rules on it. Maybe the card is very easy to get rid of. Most of the cards are very difficult to get rid of. That's the point. Like Greedy Dragon, you may need like 5 cards in your hand just to even come close to getting rid of it, unless you have a different way to do it. The whole point is to each round try to put one card in the center, and then it's out of your hand and you're good. And then you pass it on to the next turn. You can only do that once a turn, or if during the round something sets you up so that you can put a card in the center, well, you did great. You're just trying to get rid of them as fast as possible, but only really one a turn, unless you have another way of doing it. With this one, it's you may put this card in the center, but if another player plays a card on this turn, you must take it back. Like so, once you can do this for free, put it in the center, but if somebody pulls off somehow before it comes to your turn again, putting a card in the center, then you have to take it back. Too bad. Step back, Honky Cat. Mousetrap. If a player draws a card, give them this card. So this is a super mean card. There's no way to put this one in the center by itself without something else doing it, but it's really easy to get rid of when somebody has to draw a card. So I should actually say opponent. So it's pretty much just some terrible icing on a terrible cake. If you haven't been able to play a card for whatever reason, by the time it's your next turn, you're going to draw a card. So if somebody's doing that for that reason, you just give that to them. News bunny. That used to be a popular term for people who hated the news and found that it was more entertaining than actual news. Put this card in the center and show your remaining cards. So you do. So if you have some big secret, you might want to do this later. But whatever. You may have no secrets and not care, and just show everybody your cards and whatever. Cobra Commander, based on G.I. Joe. Reveal this card. Tell opponent to do something. They must do that thing. So this card could be really useful. It can't throw itself in the center by itself, but it may force a player to do something that will help you play your other cards. A lot of it is party game type of stuff, like A, B, C, D. Reveal this card and tell your opponents you put out a new album. If they don't say, I heard a real buzz about it, you can put this card in the center. So you show it so they see it and they know the fact that they have to say that or you're going to be able to play the card. Maybe they don't care. Maybe you have 20 cards and they're like, whatever, who cares? I'm not saying that again. I've been saying that for 7 rounds and I don't want to say that anymore. But if they say it, then you just can't play it. Too bad. But with Cobra Commander, you can say, reveal this card. Oh, no, you can't. You really can't, though. See, that's the thing. What you could do with Cobra Commander is go, on my next turn, you can't say, I heard a real buzz about it. You could do that. Because that would be your play for the turn. Pony up. Tell opponents to put a card in the center. If they do, put this card in the center. So it's pretty much helping out your players. So you wouldn't want to do this if they only had one card. But if they were doing terribly, I guess it would be fine. Butterfly Potion. That's based on the Fetus single. Fetus is a band. Give this card to opponent. They may put one of their cards in the center. So it's pretty much just trade. You lost the card. They gained a card. And they found a great way to get rid of a card that they couldn't otherwise get rid of. There's a card called Lucky Unicorn. If you draw it, then you win the game. If you have it in your hand at the beginning of the game, it can negate something bad that happens to you. But the Black Cat does something else. If you put this card in the center, opponents draw a card. If you receive this card, you draw another card. If it is Lucky Unicorn, you do not win the game. Rough, bro. Rough. Stool Pigeon. Based on the term that you say to somebody who rats on you to the police. I think there's a dirty rat in here as well. Tell all players a card an opponent has. They must show their hand. If they have the card, put this card in the center. So, I mean, you could guess, but I mean, if at some point in the game you just found out what the card is, even if you looked at their cards, something like that. I mean, I guess. I never had a rule about not looking at other players' cards. You're not supposed to, but I guess you could just do it. Peppermint Pig, based on the candy and the song by the Cocteau Twins. When an opponent puts a card in the center, you may put this card in the center. Skip your next turn unless you give thanks, which is something you do with the Peppermint Pig. This is one I didn't draw. You know who drew this? Hungry Caterpillar. Search deck for a butterfly card and shuffle. If you found one, put this card on the bottom of the deck. You may keep the butterfly. So, like Butterfly Potion, and there's another one, Madam Butterfly. Junkyard Dog. If any opponents put a card in the center, put this card there first and bark. Opponents cannot put cards in the center until your next turn ends. So they're reaching for the center, you put that down. So again, more party game shenanigans. If you draw a card, put this card in the center. So that's a nice one. So you can just wait out the turn, draw, and then put it out. Karma Chameleon. When you draw this card, reveal it. Everybody draws a card. Ha! Karma. Elephant in the Room. You may place this card in the center if it's the first turn. When we play tested it the very first time, somebody was able to do that. I thought it was pretty sweet. The Last Dodo. Otherwise, you got to keep that card for a long time. If an opponent wins for any reason, reveal Dodo. They do not win. You get one more turn. On your turn, put this card in the center. Then the game resumes. So if it was your last card, you won. It's a perfect way to make sure somebody else doesn't win. I think that's enough. Oh, how about this? Nature's Wrath. Put this card in the center and give opponents a card from the center if possible. throwing back that really difficult thing like the elephant back in their hand, ooh, wrath.